We are now 5 episodes into Uramichi Oniisan, and I am still not sure what this anime is trying to be. Yes, it is of course a comedy about working on a kids television show, but there are times where this anime seems to be trying to impart deeper messages on depression and being unhappy with your job, but it doesn't take these messages to build some kind of larger narrative. What's up, y'all? It's your man That Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so if you like Uramichi Oniisan, I review almost every episode, and you don't want to miss anything, so go hit that button. Also, if you would, smash that thumbs up while you're down there. I'd appreciate it. The vast majority of us have no idea what it's like to work on a kids television show, but I feel like all of us can relate to the first scene in this episode where Uramichi comes out and he does his usual greeting to the kids and to the audience, but the director wants to try something new just because. So he has Uramichi do backflips and then decides he doesn't like the backflips and they go back to the usual greeting. Like, I feel like we can all relate to that. We've all probably been in a job where you've had one way of doing something and it has always worked, but your boss for some inexplicable reason wants to try something new. So you try it and it doesn't work and you end up going back to the old way and you're annoyed and frustrated because why did we change this up in the first place? We can all relate to that to some extent, and that's what Uramichi went through in this first scene. And it's hilarious because he puts in the effort, he does the backflips, he does the new greeting, and the director doesn't even really see the backflips because he takes a phone call and walks off. And you can just see the exasperation on Uramichi's face when he's on his hands and knees with the kids, and you can tell he just hates his job in that moment so much, but he still puts on the good face and fakes being happy and fakes that positive attitude and just does his job. You gotta commend the guy for that because you can just tell that he is so frustrated, but he doesn't let that get the better of him on camera. Off camera, different story, but on camera, he doesn't let it get the better of him. There was one scene in particular in this episode where I was unsure how to read what was going on. It was a very short scene, and that's when Uramichi and Ikateru and the girl, I forget her name, I think it's Utano or something like that, but they're saying goodbye to the kids as their parents come to pick them up. And one little kid goes up to Uramichi and he's like, "My dad has the day off so I can come to your concert next week." And it seemed to me that Uramichi flashed a genuine smile, like he was genuinely happy that this kid was so excited to come to their concert. But I don't know if that's because he has just gotten so good at faking being happy and putting on that fake smile that I was also fooled in that moment and that smile wasn't meant to be taken as genuine joy. I'm not sure because he wasn't excited at all about actually doing the concert. Maybe he enjoyed the fact that that kid was excited in that moment, but still hates doing the actual concert, and he does seem to hate doing the show in general. But I wasn't sure how to read that scene. Like, part of me wants to believe that Uramichi does derive some joy from working with these kids, and he does like playing a role in the lives of these kids. But given how generally unhappy he is with everything in his life, it is kind of hard to believe that he does derive some joy from that, because you would think he'd be happier because his whole job is about interacting with these kids on this television show. So maybe I just read it wrong. Speaking of that concert, there was a whole song about being a lonely cat lady. I don't know whose idea was that to put that song in there. Did they think the kids would be able to relate to that, or did they put that song in there for maybe the parents in the audience? Kind of like how in real life you have kids shows where they sneak in jokes and references just for the parents that they know are watching with their small children. Maybe that's what that was for. But I was watching that, and with the songs, sometimes you don't feel like reading the subtitles when you hear the songs. But I saw the cat come out on stage. I was like, let me start reading these subtitles. And I was like, yeah, it's a song about being an old lonely cat lady who doesn't have really any money, doesn't have, like friends or a fiance or like family like that, anything, doesn't have food in the fridge, but has her cat. And I was like, that is pretty dark when you get past the levity of the beat and the vocals. The actual core of what the song is, the lyrics, are dark. It's also a good thing I read the subtitles to that song that was playing as Uramichi walked home by himself, because the lyrics to the song were literally what Uramichi was doing as he walked home. Like, he found that crab crossing his path, the crab pinches his finger, and he puts the crab back to the stream. These are all like lyrics to the song, so it's like the song was singing what he was doing. I thought that was pretty funny, but that scene in of itself was just sad because as his co-workers are celebrating after the concert, they're getting drunk together, eating food together, just like having somewhat of a good time. They're all celebrating the ending of the concert together. He's by himself. He goes home by himself, eats dinner by himself, and just alone, and he's isolating himself. And I think this is part of his depression, or what I think to be his depression, where he's isolating himself. He doesn't want to be around people because he doesn't really know how to enjoy life. That is part of being depressed. You don't really know how to get out of it, out of your own head. And that scene altogether was just sad, because while it isn't, something just catastrophic or bad happening to him, while his co-workers are getting drunk and having a good time, he's isolating himself and he's just forcing himself to be alone. He doesn't have to be alone at the end, but he is. And I just found it to be very telling. I am very much enjoying Uramichi Oniisan, and the type of comedy we get in this anime, I do think is geared towards someone like me who is a young adult and still trying to figure out this whole life shit and what it means to be an adult, like the characters in this show that they're struggling with that. And so I believe that maybe that's why the comedy hits home for me and why it might with other people who are of a similar age. But I do hope that eventually we get some of these deeper messages that form into a cohesive narrative or some kind of storyline that could continue episode to episode, and we get to see some progression from these characters. Like, yeah, we get it. Uramichi and the others on the show are maybe unhappy with their lives. Now, are they going to start trying to improve their lives? Are they going to do something about it? Are they going to try to become happy? I would like to, at some point in time, see them try to progress that part of the story, because it's really non-existent so far. We just know they're unhappy, but we haven't seen them try to do anything to be happy. And I would like to get some kind of resolution where they are eventually happy. But for right now, I'm enjoying the show for what it is, because the comedy in this show is really funny. That's all I have for you on this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up. And if you are so inclined, subscribe and share. It would help me out a lot. If you didn't like the video, or if you disagree with anything I said, maybe you don't find Uramichi Oniisan to be funny, let me know why in the comments. We can talk about it. I respond to almost everything. Also, feel free to hit me up on Twitter @DadDoAnime, and I'll see you guys in the next one.